Today we had oral arguments before the United States Supreme Court about the TikTok ban, and that lasted a little over 2 hours. It's kind of hard to tell which way the Supreme Court's going to go on this, but based on their questioning, it appears like they may be in favor of allowing the TikTok ban to stay in place. However, there were tough questions asked of both sides of this case. Justice Kagan had a comparison to like a communist-run newspaper tied to Soviet Russia, potentially like during the Cold War. Well, would this have been the same if they would have just blocked out and said that newspaper can't be published here, something like that? And the response was, well, newspapers are basically one-way communication. You print your message and you send it, whereas TikTok is more multi-directional in that users like myself create videos, put them up here, and then the people watching videos tend to rely on the algorithm to organically feed them content, and that algorithm can be manipulated. That was the argument on behalf of the government. Some of the other arguments that were brought up was free speech, and Neil Gorsuch happened to be one of the ones that was weighing heavily on the idea of this is limiting speech. And that was the biggest chunk of this, was that what the government was doing is limiting speech and putting restrictions on it. So that was their main argument. He seemed to be very much in favor of it. John Roberts appeared to be more in favor of allowing the ban to take effect and not as concerned about speech, specifically saying that since we're dealing with a foreign-owned company, they don't have First Amendment protections for speech, so it doesn't really apply. Now, they have not indicated as of yet that they are going to put a stay on this ruling and extend it. However, Justice Alito did ask at one point during the proceedings if the Solicitor General, who was arguing for the United States Supreme Court, if they thought that the Supreme Court had the ability to put a stay on it. And it was like, of course you do. That is within your right. However, it has been already debated here before the court. You've had briefs, we've had oral arguments, but if you need more time to deliberate, is within your right. And I think that was just kind of a bait question for the Solicitor General, because obviously Alito would know that it is within the power of the Supreme Court. One of the other concerns that was brought up was the idea that Donald Trump could just tell the Justice Department to not enforce the ban. And that was very concerning for several of the justices. So we will see which way they rule on this. It is unclear, like I said, as of yet. They have until, whenever they decide, which the end of their term is in June, maybe early July. If they decide to take that long, they will probably put a stay on this. If not, we may have a decision as early as January 19th when the ban is set to go into effect. And basically, what would happen if the ban does go into effect is this app would go dark. And from what I understand, it would be removed from the app stores. And there's even penalties for, sounds like for internet companies allowing you to access TikTok, even if it's already on your device. And it sounds like TikTok would just, or ByteDance would shut down TikTok here in the United States. Now, we will see what happens with it. If TikTok does go away and you still want to find my content, I want to remind you, I am up over on YouTube. I am Analytical Iowan on YouTube. There is a link in my bio. And I do try to post the links to all my YouTube videos also over on Blue Sky. I am Analytical Iowan on Blue Sky as well. So if you can find me on either one of those, that's where you can find my content. If TikTok goes away, I will keep posting over on YouTube. And I will probably migrate to whatever the replacement is for it. So we will see what happens in the next coming days, but we had the oral arguments. Not sure which way they're going to go with this.